Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Facers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun, as always, is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
4, 7, and 8 of clubs in the community hole. In his own hand, King, Queen of diamonds. Can he pull this off? He's facing a rather difficult opponent.
Hey,
7
yeah,
and 9 of clubs.
I'm just trying to figure out this whole age sort of poker thing. I don't know why there's commentators here. That's a really weird thing to add to this.
He really needs these years. Look at how time has ravaged his body.
I just want to get to my child's
He needs
mitzvah.
to win this hand. He said he's 34. He looks easily 47.
That's hurtful.
A weak body.
Well, take a look at this hand.
Oh my God. Let's get into it.
Ghost Facers! We're facing ghosts! We're others, we're not! We're ghosts! Ghost Facers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghosts! Ghost Facers! We're facing nightmare! We're facing dread! Ghosts! Ghost Facers! We're facing faceless! We're facing dead!
Welcome to Ghost Facers! Today we're discussing Season 5, Episode number 7, The Curious Case of Dean Winchester.
I'm going to need you to take that again with more energy.
And I've got COVID.
Oh, buddy.
This is the level of dedication that we have for you.
Yeah. How much do you wish you could just play a poker game to give COVID to someone else?
Ooh, I mean, is that in the cards? Yeah,
I think we're done here.
No, that'd be fine with me.
It's a 2-minute episode.
Yeah, I could put that out. If I cough a bunch of this, just know I'm not all right.
No, you're not.
No. But you know what is all right? The fact that this episode aired October.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. Buddy.
If you think that, like, on a normal day I'm off lately, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, you're doing an episode through like severe brain fog.
Yeah. Hey, I've mostly been conscious today. That's not even true, actually.
Oh no. Sorry, when did this episode air?
That's a great question.
You look like you're changing screens. You were just looking at it. What's happening?
This episode aired October 29th, 2009.
Did you have the date wrong?
Don't worry about it. You're sick.
I'm not.
You got COVID.
Maybe. I have the opposite of COVID. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I was outside, baby.
I was gonna say, I'm like, is that the opposite of COVID?
That's the opposite. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, when you're sick with COVID, you wear primarily Christmas sweaters, and when you're well, you wear tiki shirts.
Everybody, well, I don't know if I want to be associated.
And you hold
with
a tiki torch.
I don't think I want to be associated with.
And you just like march on stuff.
Yeah. I also love going to tiki bars.
This episode aired October 29, 2009. It was written by Sarah Gamble and Jenny Klein. Directed by Robert Singer, the great Robert Singer.
Love it. This is a great team.
Love it. So good. Viewed by an estimated 2.90 million viewers. It's back up.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, we always have this exact same discussion, but I guess that might possibly be because of the strength of the previous episode. It might also be because this is just a very fun premise. I doubt the promo did it right, but if the promo was good and like sold the idea of like people are going to be aging and losing ages and it's going to be wacky, that's like a fun hook. I could see that getting people to watch an episode.
Totally. Why don't you watch it? Because I just sent it to you.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's weird doing this by Zoom. I mean, we've done it before, but
no, I don't like it. Why don't you come on over?
For the listeners.
Yeah. Make it for the quality of the episode.
Gonna have to start paying a lot more than $1 a month.
Yeah, this is the COVID episode.
Yeah.
For $10 a month.
I will get COVID.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a little look here.
Okay.
It's fine. We've seen a lot worse promos than that. It's
Yeah,
at least got
there's
like
some, like,
it's got like a
thematics to it.
fun.
Yeah.
It's got like a fun guitar, like like it's doing like it has the right attitude, it has the right energy. At least they're not going like this poker game could end your life. Like they're not doing that shit. So
How much
it's at
have you
least,
ever
like,
gambled on a set of cards? What's the most
Oh
you've
my
ever
God,
lost?
Anton
On?
Chigurh?
What's the most you've ever lost on a set of cards?
Yeah, I mean they're at least in the ballpark of the tone of the episode. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, I don't hate it. All right, international titles. The title of this episode is a what? What? Is my energy not where it's supposed to be?
Based on the feedback we've been getting, that's the energy this segment has now.
I think some people have said that it's their favorite segment.
People's favorite segments. Obviously the lore, obviously the sandwich segment, of course.
Yeah, you know, the sandwich segment, the thing you watch a supernatural podcast for.
Based on the discussions we've had on Angel Radio, I actually think the grammar segment went pretty well.
Oh my God. Yeah, you were a real grammar Nazi.
No, don't you dare spoil the comedy bit I'm writing.
The episode, the title of this episode is a play on the name of the 1922 short story by F. Scott Fitzgerald, which was later adapted into film, to the film The Curious Case of Benjamin Button in 2008.
Wait, hang on. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button is an F. Scott Fitzgerald story?
I know, I just assumed Brad Pitt wrote it, but no, it was written by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
You know, the first
I had
rule
no
about
idea.
getting old is don't talk about getting old.
Come on, man.
My brain's not working right, okay? Getting me
I feel like your heart isn't in it right now. I'm really going to need you to put a lot more effort in.
Well, we only got one this week. This is all good. You're going to burn out before we can talk about the episode.
Scrappadooches!
Whoa! I can't even hit that level right now. I don't have it in me. Everybody largely got it this week, except for
Hungary?
That's right, baby.
Hungary, they called it Texas Oldham.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Have you been holding on to that, or did it just come out?
Just right now.
Oh my God, that's really good. I'd laugh if it wouldn't hurt so much. That's really good. It's not Texas Oldham, unfortunately.
That's a good alt, though. If we
it's
could go back in time and pitch that to the people writing Supernatural.
If I could go back in time, the only thing I would do is pitch that.
Just that.
Yeah.
I have one idea. It's about the title of a season 5 episode.
Yeah. No, the Hungarian title is Fatal Bet.
Oh, yeah, sure. All right.
Sure, yeah. That's fine.
Do they not read F. Scott Fitzgerald in Hungary? Is that the...
Yeah, no, they do, but they actually hate Brad Pitt. That's the
Wait, sorry, hang on. This is 2009.
2000. Well, the movie came out in 2000.
No, sorry. I'm trying to
This
figure out.
episode is in 2009. Yeah.
Did this episode come out after or before the movie? Like, is it only a reference to F. Scott Fitzgerald? Is what I'm asking, or had the movie come out already?
Well, like I said, this episode aired October 29th, 2009.
Right.
And the movie was 2008.
Oh, okay. All right. That tracks. I figured it was more referencing the movie than that, but I just
Sure, yeah. I think considering it was pretty prevalent considering I'm still making Benjamin Button jokes to this day.
Basically anything reverse age. I think you know what it used to be. The reference for weird, because the thing is, it's not actually that much about reverse aging. If anything, it's mostly about aging quickly. And that cultural touchstone used to be Jack, the Robin Williams movie.
Oh yeah,
big Jack references in that. Now weird aging things are all Benjamin Button scenarios.
Yeah, everybody gets jacked. Now you don't get jacked anymore.
No, in that movie, he looks like an adult, right? But he's a kid.
Yeah.
He confesses to a teacher he has a crush on them. They turn him down because they're a good person.
Yeah.
And then he has a heart attack in the hallway.
Hey, it's better than Big, where he fucks the adults.
Yeah. Oh man, Big is kind of messed up, huh?
Yeah, man.
Man, that 9-year-old lays pipe in Big.
I mean, talk about Big. So featured music from this episode. We've actually got a couple songs this week, which it
Sure.
feels like as we've been getting later in the seasons, this happens less and less. But we've got Early Blues by APM, and we've got I Want All My Money Back by Looney Brooks.
Classics, both.
Yeah, you know those songs. You know old Looney Brooks. That's actually it's actually a river in Canada.
Well, Looney Brooks is that's in the country music version of Space Jam. Garth Brooks falls into.
God, you're on top of your game today.
Yeah, first Texas Hold'em, the real cumbersome Garth Brooks joke.
All right, TV Guide.
Fuck
Yeah, you're doing great, buddy. TV Guide describes this episode as Bobby plays a high-stakes poker game with a witch and bets 25 years of his life for a chance to be free of his wheelchair, but he loses. As he begins to rapidly age, Dean attempts to save him, but he also ages into an old man. I mean, that's a part of it, I guess.
No, that's it.
Yeah, it all starts with Bobby wanting to do it. I'm pretty sure that it was already happening, and Bobby just got the idea partway through.
Well, no, I mean we'll talk about it. But yes, it was already happening. Bobby puts them onto it, sort of under the auspices of once they confirm that is what it is, then he's like, well, I'm there. Obviously, I'm going to play this guy. Yeah.
Fair. Well, before we start talking about today's episode, why don't we open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real world lore?
Yeah, let's see what the lore says about life extensionists.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Swedish invented life extender.
That's not my bag, baby.
That's not my bag, baby.
But here's your book entitled "This." Yes, this is my bag.
My Swedish invented penis enlarger and me. That's my bag, baby. That's one of, I think, the best jokes ever written into a movie.
Oh yeah, that continuous joke is so good
because that is like the fifth or sixth step of him denying having an involvement with the penis enlarger, and so every time he says something else comes out of his bag that refutes it.
It's a great movie.
Incredible joke. Austin Powers, great movie.
Almost as good as the Austin Powers 3 sodomy tent shade.
That's a pretty good joke. Also, just the idea, I completely forgot that in that movie, it has the movie within a movie where Tom Cruise is Austin Powers.
That's right. What the hell?
In Goldmember, there is an Austin Powers movie called Austin Pussy.
Of course. Jesus Christ. Love it.
With Tom Cruise and Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah.
So what's the lore on life extensioning?
So, life extensionists. This is going to be a slightly weird one because I got so fascinated like reading about it, I didn't write down my own notes. Because I was just like, it truly captivated me. So life extensionists, very broadly, it is what it sounds like. It's a bunch of people who are in pursuit of and desire extending their normal lifespan. And it's not fully crazy, but there's a segment of it that is absolutely batshit crazy. So some of it is like legitimate science. There are like actual doctors, medical scientists, biologists, gerontologists. Gerontology is the study of aging. There's these people that, their fields of study involve determining what they call like the pillars of aging are. And a lot of it has to do with the way our cells divide and replicate, the way our cells break down old, diseased, bad cells and repurpose those proteins and things like that. A lot of that, those are the processes that, when they slow down, then you see the signs of aging, right? It's when your skin doesn't renew as quickly or it loses its elasticity, these things that we associate with like people that look older and things like that. So part part of that is just actual science of understanding the mechanisms of aging. And then the more we understand those, the more we can adapt to them, right? I mean, already the human lifespan is considerably longer than it's ever been before. And that's not
You
just
sound like you're
because-
unhappy about it.
I mean, listen, my ultimate point here is that these people are fucking stupid because who would want to stick around longer? But
Fair.
yeah, it's crazy. Where was I? At any rate, so part of it is that study. You know, like the human natural lifespan has extended as we have better diets, more access to clean water. We have better medicines, fewer, diseases can kill us. We can treat a bunch of things that used to take people off the table way earlier and stuff like that. We've already extended the human lifespan quite a bit. And even just think about it anecdotally, the idea of somebody living to 180 years ago was unheard of.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to say everybody makes it to 100, but like, it is an achievement, but it's not like a world record breaking achievement. The way
people do it every day.
Every day. So, these things are already happening. We're already extending human life. But so there is a movement of people who are trying to, partly through science, partly through hokum, trying to extend their lifespan. I read a number of articles about people that are kind of prominent in the life extensionist community. And all of these people are the sort where they're like, some of these people are like, I will live forever.
Yeah.
Like they're fully afraid of death. And they're like, I will live forever. And you go like, we're going to go from like you maybe living to like 90 or 100 to you living forever. And the philosophy of a lot of these people is all I have to do is live another 10 years. And likely there will be some other breakthrough in that time. If I can stay healthy enough, living 10 years actually gains me 30.
Sure. But how long have they been saying 10 years?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously this is flawed reasoning, but this is like kind of the mentality behind it is, let's say I'm 40. If I now do the things that, quote, add 10 years to my life, by the time I'm cashing those 10 years in, I will have compounded that with whatever new technologies and medicines have come up, whatever new understanding of gerontology there is. Yeah. So there are people that truly, legitimately believe they're going to live to be like 200 or 300, and they're alive now.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. If you look at some of the research they've done recently about with rats and stuff like that.
Totally. Except, I mean, it will never be fast enough for this. However, I do want to talk about the approaches of some of these people. So, as you might expect, these people hop on all sorts of dietary and medicinal fads. Some of these things are legitimate, like actual good diet, get good exercise, do stuff like that. Like it's not all bullshit. And then some of it is bullshit. Like one of these things, there's this one guy, I can't remember his first name. His last name is Stroll. He's currently 70 years old. He lives in Arizona. He's one of kind of like the foremost of these people. He takes 70 supplements a day,
God.
including a tablet that, quote, energizes the mitochondria, which mitochondria produces energy. So you don't energize that. That's not how that works.
But it does make you a Jedi.
Yeah. He takes vitamins, multi-nutrients. He takes there's a diabetes drug called metformin that is so popular among life extensionists that it's referred to the aspirin of anti-aging.
Oh my God.
He does like cold, like ice water baths to like shock his immune system. He lies face up on an electromagnetic mat that like opens his veins, quote unquote. He does like a crazy breathing regime that he believes balances his hormones. So it's like on one end, it's like, get your like omega fatty acids, eat lots of fish, and you're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we know that is good for your brain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there are people that are like, I do the crossword every day, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, great. That helps. We know that that's, and then there's people like lying on like an electric mat.
It also sounds like he's doing so much stuff that it's like it takes all day long for him to extend his life. So it's like, are you even, what is your life even?
Well, that I 100% agree with. Later in this article that talks about him, the article just says he is fully afraid of death.
Yes. Like, I will do everything in my power not to die if that means not living a life.
The other thing is, for anyone that like has chronic conditions or anything like that, you know how hard it is for your doctor or your pharmacist to make sure that competing things don't fuck with you. Like what are the odds that if you're taking 70, or in one case I saw someone's taking 150 supplements a day, what are the odds that nothing is counteracting something else?
Jesus.
Even if we take for granted that they do what we purport them that they're purported to do, there's no way taking them all at the same time is a good idea.
No, there's no possible way.
I want to talk about some kind of crazier things. So, as you might imagine, if you're not a scientist, the kind of demographic of life extensionists are crazy rich people.
Of course,
it's extremely expensive because you're getting weird therapies, or you're like spending 4 hours in like a sensory deprivation thing, or you're buying these specialized mats or whatever. Like, it's a very vain and expensive enterprise to try not to die.
Yeah.
There's I want to talk. There's a guy named Zoltan Istvan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, great name. Apparently, he was at one point a presidential candidate, and he drove around the country in a coffin-shaped immortality bus.
What? Which
is pretty cool.
That's fucking rad.
But I want to talk about something kind of disturbing. So, okay, so there's a billionaire called Peter Thiel. He's the founder of the Thiel Fellowship. He spent millions of dollars funding startups devoted to reverse engineering death. And he's shown an interest in receiving blood transfusions from a younger host to reset age-related symptoms in the circulatory system. Now, if that doesn't sound like a bunch of actual movies about scary shit like this, so it's a process akin to parabiosis. So apparently there is some science behind this. The idea that this parabiosis, fusing two individuals anatomically, can improve certain like muscle and heart and lung function. It's happened in mice, and it has something to do with stem cells and regenerative biology. So in this, there's a company where participants pay $8,000 for a single plasma treatment from a younger host. So far, at least 30 individuals, all older than age 35, have been treated. And the director of the test says they all report improvements in appearance, exercisability, and memory.
Wait, so is this just a blood transfusion?
It's plasma transfusion, which, if we remember from the emails we've been getting, is different.
I was just going to say.
Can't believe it's relevant somehow. But
God, are we learning?
The thing that these articles go on to say is some of these things may possibly actually have some short-term effects or possibly even benefits, but it is yet to be determined whether or not they're actually affecting the pillars of aging. Like, it's possible an infusion of younger or like plasma with more stem cells or whatever it is. I'm obviously not a scientist.
What
can have some short-term effects where it's like, oh yeah, there's more of these things in your body. Of course you're going to feel better. But whether or not it's actually altering your own chemistry enough to prevent your own aging is like way yet to be determined. But like, I'm pretty sure that there's a movie that came out like in the last decade that's literally about this.
I think so, yeah.
And there's all sorts of other, the common theme here, though, even in pop culture, there was that movie with Justin Timberlake where they had like an amount of time and you would pay for it. So only the rich can live longer. And really, all of my reading is like, this is rich people like terrified. So,
yeah,
if you want to extend your own life, live well, keep your mind active, do crosswords and stuff like that, be, physically fit, eat healthy, do stuff like that. The idea that like for us as a general population, there's going to be something that will like actually put years back on our life is like extremely thin. But there's interesting / terrifying science to being explored about whether or not it's technically possible to slow aging or stop aging.
What you're saying is I need to get more money.
Yeah, basically.
Sweet. All right. We got a plan. This is what we're going to do.
Ultimately, I would put this in the category of Parco Jurassico, where your scientists were so concerned of whether or not that they could stop aging.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also the whole cryo freezing thing, which I always find really interesting.
This seems to have largely replaced it. I mean, there are those things still exist, but this seems to be like because cryo freezing is like you're just
waiting it out.
Base case scenario, you're most of the way dead and you're frozen until maybe they can fix you.
Yeah.
But in this one, people are like trying to like still live.
Do you believe
I mean?
Do you believe the like Walt Disney Frozen thing?
Oh, that his body is frozen. I thought there was a thing where it was, but like the seal broke. That like they had to bury him because like he did do it and it just like didn't work.
Oh, I didn't know.
Unless that's another wild conspiracy theory that I've just immediately subscribed to.
I'm okay with that.
But yeah, at any rate, life extensionists, go look it up. Most of the info that I got for this is from there's an article in Marie Claire and then an article in The Guardian, and they're both like wild shit.
Love it. That's awesome. All right. Well, with that, why don't we get into today's episode?
I'm all right.
All right. That works great for me. I'm hanging on by a thread here.
No, do it. Tell me about the episode.
Yeah. Okay, sir. There's no then this week for some reason.
No, because it's not about the past. It's about the future and extending it.
Whoa. God, I mean, if that's not true, it sure sounds like it. Okay, the now. I don't know why I'm doing a lot of hand movements over here. I think I'm trying to get myself more into it.
It also looks like you're looking to me to provide you a cue for something, and I won't.
Cool. The now. A woman is reading a tabloid newspaper when her husband rushes into the house and shoots up the stairs without acknowledging her at all. He is frantic as he rushes into the bathroom and stands in front of the mirror. He appears to be quite young, but watches as deep wrinkles form. His eyes cloud over and his hair grows thin. That happened to you not that long ago, eh?
This guy gets like fucking like instant cataracts.
Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah, and it's a good effect. Because we see his hand grabs the sink and we see it age, and then we see his hair. Like he kind of bends down and runs his hand through his hair, and by the time his hand is through it, his hair is thin. Like it's
is that what happened to you?
How dare you? I'm just bad at poker, okay?
Oh, that makes so much sense now. I thought you just didn't want to live. I thought that was your whole lifestyle.
I was trying to lose. I kept getting winning hands. I don't know what No, I did mine about like pant size.
Should I just lose 2 more sizes?
Yeah, I'm all in.
He doubled down and he lost.
Yeah, here's a double down.
Okay. Whoa, I deserve this.
I deserve this. No, what I was saying is it's a really good effect. Like I really like the visual of the way he goes down with like the full head of hair and then his hand moves and then it's not there. Like it's a real nice little piece of visual effects.
Yeah, I like it. He stumbles backwards into a glass cabinet and collapses. His wife races upstairs at the sound of shattering glass, throws open the door, and screams at what she sees.
Yeah, because even when he walks in as a young guy, he's like holding his arm like the heart attack style, right?
Yeah.
Even when he's young, and then he keeps aging, and then so like, Buddy has a heart attack, and
he dies as an old man, and that is the beginning of the episode.
Well, shit.
Why no? So now we cut to Sam and Dean posing as CDC agents. Sam and Dean arrive at the morgue to view the body. The medical examiner is expecting them and opens the morgue drawer to reveal an obviously elderly man. Only she says that he's only 25 years old.
Yeah, and then she says, I ran the DNA. Now, I don't know if that means the DNA to confirm who he was. Like they had somehow another sample from this guy, and they're just confirming it's the same person. Or if she meant I ran the DNA and it confirms he's 25, in which case I have a lot of questions about magically how this works. Because I would feel that the magic should alter, if it's altering your appearance, it would also be altering your genetics, right? You'd actually register as older. I also don't know if DNA can tell you how old someone is. I know.
Yeah, because they don't say that like I'm like his blood work.
I guess that doesn't make sense. If DNA is the blueprint, it can't tell you how old someone is. But maybe like the other things, like your stuff in your cells and how your whatever's work.
Dr. Christine,
please
help. Yeah, what DNA makes old? Yeah.
Who first did a DNA?
She even like says she's checked it twice. So I really checked the DNA.
Yeah, Santa CSI.
Yeah, she put it under the screen.
I got the DNA. I'm checking it twice.
She checks it on her computer, and then the little DNA comes in, and it's like, I'm DNA.
Oh my God!
I'm a DNA.
I'm a DNA. Found the flyer in the amber.
When the moon hits your eye like a DNA slice, that's Jurassic particle.
I don't know how much you've been following like the Jurassic World movies.
Yeah.
But they fully like went in on the idea that InGen or whatever the name of that like company is like cloned people.
What?
There's a kid in Jurassic World Fallen Order that the big reveal is that she's the clone of someone's like daughter who died.
Oh my God.
So they were not only cloning dinosaurs, there are full like actual people in the world of Jurassic World that are clones.
Oh my God.
Isn't that dark?
Yeah, that's really, really dark. That's really, wow. I did not know that. I have to rewatch that movie. Apparently they checked, according to his records, this man was born April 3rd, 1984.
Yeah.
Dean calls Bobby to confirm that he was right about this being like a real case. Bobby suggests that they check out any missing persons there that might be in the town to see if there's a connection. Dean asks, by the way, how is Bobby's doing sort of general?
Yeah, I mean, Bobby has been, even by the standards of the Winchesters, emotionally distant.
Yeah. I just like that he's just like, oh, you're talking about my legs? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah.
Which is like kind of a shitty move on his part. Like, obviously, Dean is talking about that, but then he throws it back. Like, oh, my legs? Dean has to be like, I'm sorry?
Yeah. I mean,
what else?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me not to check in on the like big change for you? Like, nobody talk about his legs. It makes me think of that Monty Python sketch. Or not Monty Python, it's Faulty Towers, the episode where a bunch of Germans stay in the hotel and he's like, don't mention the war.
Well, it's like if someone's like parent dies and you call them and you're like, how are you doing? And they're like, what? Because my parent died? It's like, I mean, yeah.
That's why I'm calling.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
So Bobby calls him an idiot and hangs up on him.
Yeah.
They then go to interview the wife of the missing man, Cliff Whitlow. Yeah. And she shows them a photo of her husband. She tells him that she knew something was wrong when he didn't come home last Tuesday, as he followed a pretty rigid routine.
So sorry, hang on. now we're talking about one of these like missing persons ones. Yeah, because this is like an old woman. We're done with the first guy and his wife.
Yeah. But Dean searches the house for clues and discovers a receipt for Madame Liu's Golden Palace in the missing man's jacket.
Yeah, and I like that he's like, well, because she's like, he always works late on Tuesday, but he comes straight home after. And then Dean's like, work late my ass.
So, Reed, I've got a question for you.
Don't you dare fucking do this.
Do you think that this place is a strip club?
This place is clearly a brothel.
But they're illegal, Reed. You can't have them. So it can't be a brothel.
Hey. Fuck you.
Dean,
listen, I'm just too sweet and pure for this world.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about nothing, little buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I truly don't know anything about that. But
sure you don't. Dean and Sam identify Cliff's favorite room at the place. So here's the thing I had a question of. Is the room his favorite, or like the people that are typically in that room? And like, do they always just like stick to a specific room?
No, it's the room. He's got the fuck shui all worked out.
Holy shit, the fuck shui. Oh my god. God, your wordplay today.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, I mean, I think it maybe is like a favorite room, like.
But then it brings up other question because the room number is 44. I'm like, how many rooms are in this building?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot.
That seems like a lot.
Like, what does this building look like from the outside? Does it look like a giant, like, cold storage warehouse or something? And they're like, oh, we've got 250 fuck rooms.
Yeah. Okay, but make sure I get my favorite room, my favorite box.
Yeah, he's like Phantom of the Brothel. He's like, leave room 44 empty for me. Should these commands be ignored? A disaster beyond your imagination will occur.
The Phantom of the Brothel is here. Inside your behind.
Nighttime fucking.
There's some theories of why the room is number 44. Potentially being an Asian themed brothel. It's relevant to mention that 4 is an unlucky number.
It Asian themed?
I mean, it's
the two women in with him are Asian, but the room's not like a pagoda with rice paper walls and shit.
Well, it is like Madame Liu's Golden Palace as well.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a theme though.
Well, here's a question. If you go to like a Polish restaurant, is it themed Polish or is it just Polish, I guess?
Is the food Polish or is the person that owns it Polish? Because here's what I'd say. If it's like, it's Vladislav's like Italian kitchen, then it's not a Polish restaurant, right?
Here, I figured it out. So when it's an Italian person who opens up a Irish restaurant bar and calls it Omagios.
I fucking love that.
I don't know if we've told that story on here, but that's a real thing that I worked at. That's a real place I worked at. But 4 is an unlucky number,
right, in
many Asian languages, and that actually comes up later in this episode again, and because it sounds like the word for death. So that's a potential.
Oh, interesting.
So they're about to pick the lock for the room when they start hearing yelling from inside. They bust the door down, only to find a young, fit man with 2 women. Nice.
Yeah, he's banging the shit out.
He's banging the gong.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah. And they're like, oh, sorry. And then Sam clocks that the guy has like a Marines tattoo, the same tattoo that he saw in a picture of the old guy when they were at the woman's house.
And Sam's like, stolen valor.
Yeah. Sam's like, prove you fought in Korea.
Otherwise, I'm bringing out this cheese grater and we're taking off.
Yeah, they're like, you fought in Korea. And then the 2 women go, huh? And he goes, no.
That also brings up a weird thing where it's like he's really into like Asian women. Is that theoretically because of Korea? Like,
I mean, I think we're reading too much into it, but I don't think it's an outrageous leap. When you like, there are all sorts of stories of like truly horrible, like, I mean, horrible acts committed during Vietnam and stuff like that by like American soldiers over there. But it stands to reason that other people were committing not horrible acts.
yeah.
Also, you know, like, you know what I mean? That they're like, if you were someone that like fought over there, maybe you got like an affinity for the culture or the people or something. You know what I mean? Like
An affinity.
Listen, I try to find a way to say it delicately.
They think that they've got the wrong room, but they see the guy's tattoo. So they ask if he happens to know anyone named Cliff Whitlow, and he
immediately does cartoon shifty eyes. Go, no.
Who?
Yeah.
Until Sam retrieves his wallet from behind the bed and is like, "Well, you got this dude's wallet." Cliff begs them not to tell his wife, but Sam and Dean say that they will unless he tells them how it is that he's so much younger now.
Yeah, and he basically tells them that this guy came up and said, "You want to play poker for years of life," basically, essentially. And this guy ends up winning and kind of cashing out, and so he gets way younger, and he's like, I'm young, I'm hot, one of these women's here for free. Which is like, I mean, it's such like that's such like an incel fantasy that's like, the stripper loves me.
Yeah.
Like these people are working. She's not gonna do it for free. This is her job.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you like somebody, you're not like.
So funny. That's always like the fantasy, isn't it? Like the stripper likes me. Yeah, they're doing it for free. It's like, that doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
No.
The boy, they find out that it was a poker game with this Irish guy named Patrick.
Yeah. Yes, that checks out.
Yeah, Irish Patrick. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong here.
All right, story checks out. Don't leave town.
Wait, hold on. Do some people call him Patty? Like, yeah. All right, that sounds about right to me. The boys split up to search because of the number of bars in town and the time constraint. Dean bribes a bartender $100 for directions to the poker game, and is headed toward the back of the bar as he runs into Bobby.
Well, yeah. So sorry, hang on. In this shot, he and Sam have split up.
Yep.
And he's on the phone with Sam, and he says, "Let's canvass these bars. We'll meet back at the motel around 2, or whenever." He said, "We'll meet back at the motel. You owe me dinner." And Sam says something clearly on the other end of the line. He goes, "Yeah, the usual double bacon."
Oh, fuck. Oh, I was really hoping I would skip past this. God damn it.
It is now time for the supernatural sandwich.
No, you had it right before. Go back to the way you had it.
Oh man, that's a good sandwich.
That it?
It is now time for the supernatural sandwich segment. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a good sandwich. Oh. It is now time for the supernatural.
What is going on? Is it just playing it over and over again?
These are all different. I've got alts.
Those sound like the same thing.
No, one had like a jaunty British accent. At any rate, it's time for the supernatural sandwich segment. What I want to talk about today.
That was so clunky. That was so bad.
What are you talking about? This is the best produced part of the show.
You couldn't have just like played a different version of it on another day?
No.
You burned. Oh, you just sat there and played through them with the gaps on them?
Oh, trust me. There's more. There's about
No. It's okay. It's okay.
It's about a minute and a half more if you want them.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm good. You couldn't have clipped it out and like edit it. So you just put. Oh my God.
No, not how this works. What I want to talk about today are bacon preferences for sandwich. Do you have certain types of bacon that you like? And more specifically, certain types of bacon that you would only have on a certain kind of sandwich? Like, for example, on a burger, I tend to really like extra crispy bacon. But if I was just going to make like a bacon sandwich, I like it a little, chewier, a little like less crispy.
You know what I'm going to say? This fucking sandwich segment's baking me crazy.
Listen, I put a lot of work into this.
You clearly put zero work into this.
I put so much work into someone else submitting a bunch of alt drops.
And then just playing all of it. No, sorry, not all of it. There was clearly a minute left.
I got
no,
more.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
Tell me about bacon or I play more drops.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm a thick cut bacon person. I typically don't like to put it on my burgers very often because it's too much, and I feel like I'm either never getting either the bacon taste or the burger taste. Like it's just I'm not a big bacon burger fan unless it's like a shitload of bacon, and then it's like the Baconator.
Oh man.
I want something that's like pretty crispy. I'm not a big like female bacon fan or Canadian bacon for all of my Canucks out there.
Interesting, because I wanted to like veer over there. You don't like you don't like female bacon.
I like it, not on a burger. I basically, if female bacon is just for by itself for breakfast, like with like potatoes and stuff.
Sure, we used to have female bacon sandwiches, but specifically would be like a Kaiser roll, like real fancy mustard. And you'd get like a couple of slices.
It works in that way.
Of the female bacon. You'd eat it like that. I did that a lot. To be honest, I actually don't eat Canadian bacon a ton.
No.
I really, but I think I am veering away from crispy bacon. I know that used to be like the bellwether for bacon was like, the nice crispiness or whatever. But like I tend to undercook my bacon, like not dangerously, but like I tend to undercook
just like
bacon.
pulling it like fucking like elastic out of your mouth.
I mean, I know it's slightly different, but on that note, if we're talking about like basically not cooking it at all, I do love like prosciutto. I know it's not the same, but prosciutto and like wrapped around a piece of cantaloupe.
Oh, weird. Cantaloupe.
That shit is delicious.
That's so weird. Cantaloupe can be so squishy though, and it's so chewy. That feels like the textures wouldn't work.
But it's the sweet and the kind of salty, and like it's you got to give that a go as like a little like appetizer. You just put them all on like little skewers or whatever. That's fucking great.
Do you prefer thick
in general,
versus thin?
Thick because, and that's partly I think because I really have to fuck it up to make it crispy. Like it's part of that same trajectory for me. I love thick cut. I obviously love a maple bacon, but I'm a big fan now of like a peppercorn. Like if there's like a bacon that has a kind of more like kind of peppery sort of seasoning or whatever to it. I'm big on that. I love that shit. On sourdough, toasted sourdough, bacon and mustard and stuff. I like a bacon sandwich. I can go for that.
Fuck, I'm hungry now.
Right? That was the supernatural sandwich segment.
Are you just going to play the rest of it now?
It is now time for the supernatural sandwich segment.
Oh, that's the one I like the most. Okay, we're good. We're done. No, we're good. Is that a crying baby in the background?
This has been the supernatural sandwich segment. I'm hungry now. We'll go make yourself a sandwich.
No, nums. That's weird.
This has been the supernatural sandwich.
Oh my god, you got it. This is bad. Thank you for ending that.
There's about a minute left.
Still?
It's a 2-minute audio file.
Just cut them up, man. Why would you send them all?
Big thank you to Ryan Putney for sending those in. We've got like a whole nother week's worth now.
Jesus Christ. I love the way it fully halted the progress of this episode. So talk about something unrelated.
This is the only reason people listen.
Must be. Because a thing that showed up 5 seasons in, that's why they listen.
Do you like how my 2 segments today were 1 about extending your life and 2 bacon?
I mean, that's just you proving your sort of ethos.
Yeah, there are some people that believe in extending their lives. I believe in bacon.
Yeah. It's baking my life better.
It's making my life shorter, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I said. So, Dean, I was like, why is he giving so much detail about what he talked about for fucking dinner? And I'm like, oh, fuck. God damn it. So, yeah, Dean bribes the bartender. He goes in the back to find out.
Can you please do, like, you feel like you've lost momentum. Can you, like, pick this up at all?
I'm going to kill you. He goes to the back for the poker game, and Bobby comes out the door, who'd arrived in town unannounced and has already found the game. Dean asks him if he had stopped the game, and Bobby sheepishly admits that he had played already and lost 25 years.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how old Bobby's meant to be, but that's 25 years he kind of needs.
How old do you think Bobby is? Like 55? 60?
Okay, hang on. We're in season 5.
Yep.
Dean is 26 in season 1.
Yep.
Which means that now he is 31.
Yeah.
John has to be, what, 20 some odd years older than him?
Yeah.
And Bobby feels, even though he's contemporary, Bobby feels older than John.
Yes.
So let's put Bobby in his late 50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're pushing Bobby to like 80, basically.
Yeah. 80, 85.
By losing 25 years.
Jesus. Yeah, he can't lose 25 years. Dean angrily calls him an idiot. Bobby sneers at his tone and tells him that there are his years to do with as he chooses.
Yeah.
Back at the bar, Patrick
that feels like it's unfair. Someone's going to come at me and be like, Jim Beaver's only 40 or something. But like, if
we're talking about the
math,
characters.
Like, Bobby is meant to be at least the same age as John, right?
Yes, because I mean, we talked about it, I think, in like the first season, but like John, like the actor is actually like 4 years older than the boys. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's all bullshit anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, we go back inside the bar, and Patrick is demonstrating his ability to read people. He says he's not a mind reader, no such thing, on a couple of marks and flirting with the woman.
Yeah. Yeah, and he, this is that thing that we always come back to in anything to do with poker. All those episodes of TNG where they're playing poker, they're trying to teach data, and it's like you got to you play the man, not the cards.
Yeah.
Casino Royale is all about, can Bond suss out Le Chiffre better than he could suss out the cards? Like that's the quote unquote intrigue of the book. At least the movie has a lot more going on. But we always, anything to do with poker, it feels like they have to go out of their way to be like, it's a skill, so that people can be like, oh, it's like, it's technically not gambling.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Dean interrupts and discreetly shows Patrick that he's armed, and asks him to come along quietly to a private room.
Yeah.
Dean demands that the He Witch restores Bobby's 25 years and threatens him with a pistol. Patrick refuses to give the years back and says that shooting him would be a mere tickle, but asks Dean if he wants the years he can play for them. Yeah,
it's funny, when Dean says He Witch, it's like,
yeah, it does
almost sexist.
It feels like when you call a guy and you're like, oh, hell, hey, nurse, like when it's a male nurse. Yeah,
that's exactly what it feels like. Yeah.
It's like, this is not a profession for men. It's like,
yeah. He's like being
so weird.
Misogynist about witchcraft.
Yeah, they want to be called wizards, but I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's funny, eh? I mean, this is not the last male witch we will meet on this show, but
nor this season.
It is funny that Dean is like, he's saying it like it's going to be an insult to the guy who's like thus far living forever.
Yeah, I think like that's the least concern for him.
Yeah.
So Dean agrees to play, cashing out 25 years for Bobby right up front. He basically, that guy goes, here's 25 years, because that's clearly where they start. And he's like, no. He's like, give me 50. And then he immediately gives Bobby the 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Sam returns,
and now Dean has to play to get out of the hole.
yeah. When Sam returns to the motel room, he is startled to discover an old man there.
Yeah.
Dean.
I don't know who this actor is. I love this guy. He plays Dean so well.
Discount Clint Eastwood. Yeah,
yes,
I fucking love it.
He totally is, because he kind of does that, like, like he does like the Clint Eastwood like wandering eyebrows thing, like.
I love this actor. I think he does a great job. He is clearly playing Dean. Like, they could have just found a guy who's kind of like that sort of vibe, but no, this guy's playing Dean.
To lean into a thing we've been discussing on Angel Radio, he is the Wish.com Clint Eastwood.
That's really funny. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think he does a great job. I mean, part of the thing that makes it easy is, I think, from a writing perspective, you just keep writing Dean, right? So for the people doing the screenplay, you still write in like where he says dude and all the kind of stuff like that. And then to this actor's credit, he's got enough of the cadence and the sort of the pattern of Dean down.
Totally.
And I like the idea too, though, that whether or not it's deliberate, that Dean maybe in some way sees himself as a sort of like Dirty Harry, like
classic, like action hero, like,
ride into town,
Steve McQueen,
like he likes he sees himself as all those things. So it's funny that like in his head he's like, well, I'm old, and then maybe like he's just like, and I always picture myself getting old like Clint Eastwood, and so it becomes funny. Kind of manifests.
Totally. So Bobby shows up soon after, and together they conclude that the poker chips are the key.
Well, yeah, I also like that when Sam like sees him, he like draws a gun on him. He's like, "Who are you?" And the guy's like, "Dude, chill out," or whatever. You're like, "Oh, it's Dean." And then he goes like, "So what? You're just gonna gank an old guy in your motel room?" like he's shitting on Sam for being kind of like
cautious,
like doing the thing they always do.
It's very funny. So they decide that it must be the poker chips, and they should steal 50 for Dean, because Dean clearly lost all 50 that he had played.
Yes, yeah.
Which would make him like 70, no, 80?
It put him at 81. If he lost 50 years, Dean would be 81. He's a great looking 81.
I was going to say, I'd love to look like that at 81.
This 81 is like maybe 57.
Yeah, that 81-year-old fucks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You thought the young 80-year-old was laying pipe? Well, this real 80-year-old.
Or it's like a really bad 50.
Yeah. And I also like that he's taken a couple of bites of the cheeseburger that Sam brought to the
this is so funny.
And he takes a couple of bites and then he's like, oh, I'm having a heart attack. And Bobby's like, you're not. It's acid reflux. Like, he has to guide him through, like, being old as the pits. He's like, you just can't digest certain things anymore, man.
So funny.
Yeah.
So they decide that they're gonna need to steal the 50. So before they leave, a young woman comes from housekeeping and Dean tries to flirt with her.
Oh man, I love this interaction because, well, two reasons. One, it completely undermines Dean's like sense of self, and that's very funny. Two, I love it because this housekeeper takes no shit. And that's probably a job where you get harassed constantly. And she's got the exact right attitude, which is completely emasculate them. Because he kind of hits on her and she goes, "Oh, you remind me of my grandpa. He tries to fuck anything that moves too. He's so horny all the time. You sweet little bear." She kind of
so emasculating. I love it.
I love that. Completely cuts him down. It's an amazing interaction.
Also, if somebody like wanted to talk to me like that now, like I'd be okay.
Yeah, that's not like a bunch of TikTok accounts that come up on my For You page.
Sorry, mommy.
So keep getting a lot of Scarlet Witch things.
Shut up. Sam and Bobby are amused at Dean getting rejected. The three hunters now go to Bobby's van and shadow Patrick. Here's a thing that we don't talk about a lot in this episode. Bobby drives a whole bunch in this episode.
Yeah. there's got to be a handy van somewhere on that junkyard.
Yeah, I assume that they like just say like that they like cut it out or something. But I was like, I assume it's Bobby. He's like crafty. Like I'm assuming he made
And
it.
also, it's been a while since this accident happened to him.
Yeah.
There's no way he doesn't just like sit there in his living room until someone brings him groceries, right? I think we're meant to assume that either the boys or him or someone else or another hunter, they've come together and he's got he has to do his own errands and shit, right? Like,
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, he's not just like staying at his house.
But you're right, is that we basically haven't seen him not in his living room until now, and now he's the one driving them around constantly. Yes, yeah.
Very funny. So the
but that's because Dean has a strict, no handicapped baby kind of rule, which is sort of fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up, Dean. What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell, Dean? Dirtbag Dean. Just putting a bunch of fake shit on him.
Unlike what we do with John.
Yeah, no, that's canon.
True.
That's canon, yeah. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh, no. Yeah, I heard...
Just full smear campaign.
Yeah, I heard Jeffrey Dean Morgan was on Epstein's plane.
Oh, no. No, but he was trying to blow it out of the sky.
Yeah, he's like Mark Wahlberg. He was on the plane trying to take it down.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, not why Mark Wahlberg was on
Could you imagine if Mark Wahlberg weighed in on every plane thing? Like, remember that like Malaysian Air flight that just disappeared? Be like, if I was on that plane, they'd find it right away.
I mean, everyone says that it's so great that he landed that in the Hudson. I would have landed on an actual airport.
Yeah. I wouldn't have even hit the geese.
Yeah. So they're tailing Patrick when suddenly Patrick gets hit by a convertible, like Meet Joe Black style.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Love it. And it like breaks his neck, like his like spine is like poking out of the skin and shit. And when the guy runs to some construction workers to like get them to call the cops or something, he gets up healed, takes the convertible, drives past them, and Dean kind of goes, "You know what? I'm starting to like this guy."
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. They follow him to a luxury apartment high rise, and when he leaves, they try to sneak in. Yeah,
they get in the front doors, and then Bobby goes, "Well, I'm out," because the elevator's out of order.
That's right.
So it's like that's a big fuck you to Bobby right there. And then they start climbing the stairs. Sam and Dean start climbing the stairs, and Dean can like not keep up.
No, not at all. Yeah, he's huffing and puffing all the way up the stairs. The brothers do eventually get into the apartment, and Dean finds a safe that he describes as dime store model piece of cake to break into.
Yeah, he's like, I could do this, but his like vision's blurry, and he's like, and Sam says, "You're like, this is like mission pathetic," and moves him out of the way. And that's no way to talk to your elders.
No.
And then he opens the safe. They take a bunch of chips, and then they get caught.
Yeah, the woman who was half of the couple at the bar interrupts them and uses telekinesis to restrain the guys.
Yeah,
Patrick then
because she's also a witch.
Yes, that's right. Patrick interrupts her, saying that the Winchesters are harmless, which is like the first time we've ever heard that on this show.
I will say this is the first time it happens, but we get a few instances of it. The thing I love in this episode is that this witch is not like maniacally evil.
No,
he's doing something a little shady, but he's actually generally pretty fair.
Yeah, he does give out time to people.
Is he taking advantage of people? Of course. But he's also like, when they win and they cash out, he goes, all right. And then, he's like, nah, don't kill them. They're just, like he lost a bunch of years. Of course, he's going to try and steal them back. It's not going to work, but of course he's trying.
Yeah, he's like, the chips are and incantations are just plywood and showmanship. He's like, it's magic. Yeah. Like it does nothing to do with it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, so you guys get out of here. If you want your years back, you can play me for them, but get the fuck out. And it goes, oh, by the way, Dean, you can just leave. No harm done. Sam, though, you don't really have a reason to be here. So, well, he goes, There you go. Something for before you leave. And by the time they get downstairs, Sam's like, kind of itching and moving, and Dean's like, I think he gave you the clap.
Which Dean says very like definitively and quickly.
I mean, listen, Dean knows. We think Dean doesn't know what chlamydia is.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Mr. Roll into town, fuck anyone he can. You think Dean doesn't know what chlamydia is?
That's true. Dean is eager for another go around, but Patrick regards him as old, easy prey, and he's not a murderer. This is another instance of him being like, I'm not going to kill you. Like,
well, yeah, because Dean's like, I'll play you for it. And he goes like, if you lose 25 years, you're dead. Like, it's one thing to like shorten your life or whatever, but like, I'm not just going to play you to death.
It's not in his best interest to like be constantly killing people in a town that he goes to.
I mean, yes, but also I think he's like, no, like I have a limit, and like this is icky for me. I don't want to do that. If Sam wants to play me on your behalf, Sam has years to play with, then you could do that. I'm totally fine with that. But like Dean, you can't, because I don't just want to kill you.
Yeah, it seems like he's just like, if your hubris is enough that you're gonna get killed, then that's your own fucking fault. But like, yeah, I'm not gonna like knowingly just kill you because I know that the chances of you winning are pretty slim.
Totally.
So he says Sam's welcome to play, but Dean orders Sam not to, and Patrick extends best wishes for Dean's twilight time and allows them to leave. But I do think it's interesting that he's just like, He's like, I'll play the other ones. Like, I'll take a little bit of everybody's life, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the next day, Sam again says that he wants to play, and Dean and Bobby again say that he's not good enough. It is suggested that Sam is the weakest poker player among Bobby, Dean, and himself. Yet he's the only one of them that actually won in this episode. But also in real life, Jared Padalecki won the 2006 Bodog Fight Celebrity Poker Tournament in Canada.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
I also like that it's the Bodog Fight Celebrity Poker Tournament in Canada.
Yeah, love a name that rolls easily off the tongue.
Yeah, so good. I also like there's a funny moment when they're all walking outside and Dean says, Sammy, when you get to our age, Sam says, Dean, you're 30. In real life, Jensen Ackles was 31. And at the time, Jared Padalecki was 27. Both are 1 year older than the characters that they play.
Right. Well, so I guess Dean's birthday hasn't happened yet then. But yes,
sure. Yeah. You don't even know Dean's birthday? Oh my God. I wonder what they're like, what star signs they are. I wonder what their birthdays actually are.
What, Jared and Jensen or Dean and
Sam?
I mean, we can figure that out. We know their birthdays.
Well, it's time for the horoscope. No, just kidding.
you played 90 seconds of horoscope drops.
I mean, that's the level I would go to for something, but I've got COVID right now, and I'm not.
I don't have horoscope drops, but I do.
No. It's okay. Just no. Put it down. Put the phone down. Put it down. No. Put the phone down. Put the phone down. Bobby acknowledges the best player in the group. He's the best player in the group and wants to try again. But Dean insists that he doesn't have enough years to spare. Bobby then bursts out and says he's got no reason to keep living anyways, and that if he wasn't such a coward, he would have killed himself the day that he got home from the hospital.
Yeah, holy shit.
Never understood Bobby so much.
I mean, every day. Yeah.
Open casket, open shirt, baby.
Yeah. Bobby, I mean, obviously going through something, but like severely alters the mood of the room in this moment.
The whole episode.
Because Bobby has been extremely tight-lipped about his feelings, refuses to talk about it, just keeps going like, what, my fucking legs? And then now he's like, you realize like I would rather die than keep doing this, so let me just fucking play. I either win and I get my way, or I die and I get my way. So yeah, it's pretty grim. I mean, Jim Beaver plays it very well. It's a good moment. Bobby is a guy who we we've only really, for the most part, seen him have it all together. He's the guy that comes in and bails them out, right?
It's true.
So to kind of flip it around and have both Sam and Dean be like, oh shit, like part of being a family is we have to reciprocate the support back to our parental figures too, you know, like it's not just that they're there for us kind of thing.
He's our parental figure. We've got to do the job and kill him. It's what he wants.
Yeah. I'll do it. He's my pa.
I'll do it, dog. He's my pa.
Oh, God.
You gotta kill your dad.
Holy shit. What a bleak twist to Old Yeller. The dog convinces him to put his dad down.
Yeah. It's his dad. His dad was Old Yeller the whole time.
No one could stop us.
Now burn down the house.
Get on the next flight to Washington.
Wait, today's January 5th.
I'll do it, America. It's my government. Just when I thought we couldn't have a new take on January 6th.
Oh, there's no end to the takes that we can have on January 6th. Sam declares that he will not let Bobby play again. There must be another way. And he leaves intending to find it. Dean and Bobby return to the motel room, and Patrick's girlfriend, Leah, is waiting for them.
Yeah, and she hands them like a piece of paper, and she goes, "This is a powerful spell. It'll undo all of it. It'll give back all the years for people who are still alive. It won't bring back the dead, but anyone who's still alive, they'll get their year back. Undo us." And she kind of like, she doesn't say it, but you could tell she's like kind of done with living that long. It's the most I've related to a character on TV.
I'd rather just not continue to do this.
Yeah. And also, I don't want to deal with it. You do it. Can someone else just end this for me?
Yeah. Oh, God. This is what friends are for, Reed.
Years later, this clip will be played at the trial of the listener that murdered me, thinking they were doing me a favor.
A John Lennon situation?
Yeah. He asked for it, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I loved him. You didn't even understand him. I did him a favor.
Yeah. Do you know about the bags?
That's not this podcast.
I know. That's how deep of a fan you have to be.
Good Lord.
So she gives them instructions for the most powerful reversal spell you've ever laid your eyes on.
Yeah, we called this the Missy Elliott.
Wait, what? It's called the sure flip and never.
Pick this spell up, flip it, and reverse it.
Yeah, the words are sure flip and niffin lamb thimble.
Yeah, nerf niffin. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Missy Elliott is a powerful witch.
Yeah. Can you work this spell? Let me work it.
I would love if at some point the writers got like really lazy and just translated like different rap lyrics into Latin. So like in one episode, you just get like to the window, to the wall, till the sweat drips down my bum.
I mean, that's really, really funny. So she says that it will restore everyone who isn't dead to their original condition, including herself and Patrick.
Yeah.
Bobby points out that her giving them this doesn't make any sense. So, she counters that she has her own reasons and like sort of plays with a locket on her chest.
Yeah, and then she goes like, "Whatever. If you're gonna do it fast. We leave town tomorrow."
Yeah, totally.
But basically, she just like leaves them the list. She doesn't like give them the supplies. So you know, it's a spell, right? They need to get the ingredients, all this shit. So
Patrick is now playing an elderly man, Ash. There are two kings in the community cards, and we see that Patrick's whole cards are the other two, a strong hand. Ash has 2 9s.
I love how you read that so matter of factly. He has 4 kings, a strong hand.
Am I wrong?
No, but it's just like it sounds like very like demure, like golf commentary.
Patrick is playing an older man. There are 2 kings in the community cards.
And two kings in his whole hand. That's 4 kings, a strong hand.
Ash has 2 9s.
Again, we're talking about this guy being kind of morally not reprehensible. He goes, you could see the guy's like sweating. He's like, oh shit, I need these years. And Patrick goes, do you know what? It's a little rich for my blood. I fold. And he just throws his cards in and he goes, that's what, you got 13 years there, right, pal? How about we call it a night? So he just lets the guy win, gives him 13 years. He goes, you're going to see your kid graduate or whatever the fuck he says, your grandkid. And that's when Sam is there and Sam witnesses this happen. And he goes like, go on, you win. And the guy leaves and he gets 13 years back. So you're like, so this person he's not hurting people, but he's also like, sometimes he feels charitable and he's like, I've got, let's say 400 years. You can have 13 of mine. That's fine. I'll win them back from someone else. Right. Like there's almost a sense of like these young people, they don't know what they fucking got, but this old guy, all he wants is just to make it to his grandkid's graduation. I can make that happen for him. Like,
exactly.
There's something kind of interesting morally about this character that I appreciate, that I enjoy.
Totally. And Sam is completely baffled by this sort of like altruism. And he tells Patrick that now he wants to play.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me that guy's 13 years. Fuck his grandkid's graduation.
Yeah. I want my brother to have 13 years. Fuck that.
Yeah.
For hitting on old, like maids.
Old maids? Is that what you were going to say? You're going to say old maids? She was like 25.
That's young. Good. All right.
That's too young for my blood now. My age.
Here's a joke.
Could you imagine dating a 25-year-old? I'd kill myself. That would be insufferable.
Let alone 30. This is a joke. So I a lot of backstory, but I was in Vancouver this week, and I was sitting with a comedian who was telling me a joke that he was working on, and the general premise is he's just like, "Did you hate when girls like lie about their age? Like I can't believe that. Like she was 18. Ugh." I was like, "Oh my god." I know.
Oh no.
I know. I know.
Oh no.
I know.
I'm not sure which way to interpret that joke, but I think they all make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea, I think.
Yeah. Well, shit.
So, meanwhile, Bobby and Dean are digging up a grave.
Yeah, which means Bobby is sitting in his wheelchair next to the grave, and old ass Dean is digging a grave. And he's like, my joints, my elbows, everything hurts.
Bobby's like, oh, is it like kind of numb around your butt? And he's like, I don't want to talk about that part of me. And he's just like, is it? And he's just like, yeah.
Also, oh God, Dean, come on, man. No, I can't talk about butts. That will make me gay.
Yeah, obviously. That's how it works. That's the first thing that happens. You talk about a butt and then you want it in there.
It's weird. I mean, listen. He just says it and we move on. Like it's not a problem. Like he doesn't go on some weird tangent or something. It's not a problem in the episode. But it is weird that we're still like clinging to some of these things
in 2009.
And maybe that's just the era or something. I actually don't know. It is funny to me though that we've mostly moved past that, but there's always these little like the Heat Witch comment. No, not butts.
Yes.
It's just very odd that it still lingers because the rest of Dean has kind of like moved on from that.
Also, like if Dean was a real person, like he'd enjoy a little bit of butt play.
I mean, or maybe not, but like
He's a sexually open guy. I bet he's into it. Well, sound off in the Discord.
well, I mean, listen, we don't need to sound off. There's like 1,000 terabytes of Destiel fan fiction on the internet.
Also, we've talked about how on definitively Dean is a sub on the Discord.
Yeah, that was interesting. I liked that came up on Angel Radio. That all of Dean's behaviors indicate that he's a sub, not a
Yes,
dom.
love it.
I appreciated that. I appreciated the insight. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, they're digging up the grave to get the jawbone of the murderer, of a murderer for the spell.
Yes.
Uh,
Which, no spoilers, but that's a fun, interesting detail that connects to some stuff that happens
yeah.
later in the show. Jawbones of murderers are important pieces of lore.
That's right. Dean digs as they insult each other. Bobby calling Dean grandma, who responds with Ironsides, which
Yeah.
I love that. He's referring to the 1960s TV police drama Ironside from 1976, featuring Raymond Burr as a former cop paralyzed after being shot in the line of duty. I love that it's an entire plot for a TV show. It's like, this guy's in a wheelchair. How could he do his job?
Yeah, it would be awesome if it was like a $6 million man scenario, though. But instead of making prosthetics and stuff like that, we just put all the money into a really ballin' wheelchair.
Oh my god! Hell yeah!
So a wheelchair with a V8.
Yeah. We made him well, not better than he was before, but faster. We made him faster than he was before.
Yeah. Different. We made him different than he was before.
He was before, yeah. So Patrick asks Sam if his big brother knows that he is playing, and Sam doesn't answer.
Yeah.
He then continues to poke at Sam's little brother status, saying that he is not treated as an equal, but he's still trying to clean up Dean and Bobby's mess. Leah then comes in and distracts Patrick, who asks for a short break. Sam takes the toothpick Patrick has been chewing on and gives it to Dean to be used in the spell.
Because they need his DNA. Yeah. Hey, classic distraction scenario, too. Also at the heart of Casino Royale.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, wow. Is this just your ploy for people to watch Casino Royale?
This is the James Bond.
No.
segment.
Put your phone down. It's not. Don't do it. Don't do it. Put your phone. Don't do it. Thank you. So Dean and Bobby then go to do their ritual, but nothing happens. Patrick reveals to Sam that the toothpick he took wasn't the one that he had been using and begins to telekinetically choke Sam.
Yes, that's right.
Leah stops him, though, and confesses that she gave Sam the spell. Patrick is stunned, but he and Sam return to the game.
That's right.
Sam wins on a poor hand by bluffing, but then Patrick acknowledges his skill, but then vindictively reveals that Dean is going to die within the next few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I love the sort of psychological game being played like during this poker game. In many ways, it makes me think
No. I'm sorry, is this 007 segment?
It's the supernatural James Bond segment.
No, we're not doing another segment.
Worth it.
Are you proud of yourself? Sam tries to leave, but Patrick again grabs him telekinetically and tells him that the game isn't over until he says. You good?
I know it's not fair to you, but I really love watching you paddle upstream during this episode.
It's almost like I've gotten like a crazy illness and fighting through it just to get this episode out.
Yeah, and I'm picking up the slack. I've come with segments.
You're picking up a slack by trying to extend the episode longer.
Yeah, that's what you need, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for, is to do more of this.
All right.
No, don't. Jesus Christ. Bobby and Dean have headed back to Patrick's apartment in search of DNA. Oh.
Yeah.
Just scrapes him off the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, where's the... No, never mind. That's a really poor taste joke. I'm not going to do it.
Oh? You can't say that and then not say it.
Just watch me. I was going to say this should... combing out Aaliyah's hair.
Oh, no. Wow, that's really in poor taste. Jeez, Reed.
Listen, they've been alive for hundreds of years. They're probably doing it all over the place now.
I don't like the way you did that hand movement.
It's probably like a fucking no one holding a fire hose. It's just going.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Also, just the older you get, more. I think as far as I'm aware, the older you get, the less cum you produce.
Not if you stay young. You probably make like super cum or something.
Oh, that's a dream.
Dr. Christine.
Please.
I feel like we've crossed the line here.
Oh, you asking our fans about cum? She's a doctor. It's fine. He calls Bobby on his cell when he is having trouble trying to find anything suitable for the ritual.
Yeah, he's like, this place is like too clean, like, which is almost like indicates that this guy like knows this ritual. He's like, I'll bleach every room I'm in so people can't get my DNA.
Yeah, except
for the one wine glass I left out.
Yes. But collapses before he can reach it. Dean grabs it and falls like he's having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Sam is obviously upset over his brother's plight, and Patrick mocks him about it. Patrick's clearly pissed now. Like he's all of the like altruism and like good faith that he's had is gone.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like cheaters.
Yeah.
Or whatever he says. Yeah.
Sam then shoves all of his chips in, and Patrick matches his bet and reveals a hand of 2 aces.
Well, and he's like, Sam, when your family's involved, you're all your brains go out the window. You're out of your fucking depth, my boy, or whatever he says. And Sam's like, I gotta do it for my brother, and he's like freaking out and shit like that. And the guy's like, sorry, I got 3 aces, a good hand.
He reveals he has 2 aces joined with the community cards to make
he's
a full
aces
house.
full because there's two 4s in the community cards, and then he ends up with 3 aces between community and his hand. So it's a 4s full of aces. That's what he's got.
Great hand.
Strong hand.
That's a thing I'd love to get.
A strong hand.
Child. Sam notices Leah's sadness and then plays it off as he's actually lost. But he trumps it then with pocket 4s and a pair of 4s.
A strong hand.
Yeah, and a pair of 4s in the community, and cashes the chips in for Dean.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, wait, so you were acting? And I kind of wanted this moment, I wanted Sam to be like, I've done a little bit of theater. I dabble.
I believe if you saw the grade 8 Waiting for Godot, you'd remember my performance.
Yeah, well, I mean, because even the Patrick even says like very method, well done. Like,
yeah,
and you kind of want Sam to be like, how did you beat him? You would almost expect a lesser show would try to explain this. It's a credit to Supernatural that just go, you did a good job. You outbluffed him. But a lesser show would be like, oh, I took a theater course in first year, and that's how I did it.
It was I was sort of going for like a Meisner thing, but
yeah I've been studying Stella Adler.
So Bobby is frantically trying to get Dean to respond to him on cell phone when Dean suddenly comes bounding out of the apartment building, restored to his proper age.
Yeah, and he jumps and clicks his heels together, which feels like a real fuck you to Bobby. He's like, hey, I got all my years back, and check out these things. Wha-cha-cha-cha.
That's very funny, and I did not think about it like that.
It was the first thing I thought of. I was like, I'd be fucking pissed if I was Bobby. Earlier today, I mentioned how not using my legs makes me want to die. The first thing Dean does is come outside, jump, and click his heels together.
Got a new lease on life.
Yeah, and new lease on legs.
Yeah. So now Patrick and Leah are alone, and she opens the locket, showing two pictures, one of an infant and one of an elderly woman, saying that both are her deceased daughter, and that
she's like, I buried my daughter, and this is what she looks like. It's not natural. I thought I was cut out for this. I'm not. I'm sorry. I can't keep living like this. Everyone we've ever known is gone and dead, and it's very sad.
Yeah, it totally is. Although she does love Patrick. He reluctantly plays her for all her chips, and he wins with the king. He wins with the king and the queen of hearts. Patrick begins
a fine hand,
a fair hand. Patrick begins to weep as he watches Leah age before his eyes.
I mean, this is interesting too, because this is an episode of Supernatural where they don't kill a monster, you know?
Yeah, because they definitely don't care about killing witches. They'll kill him.
And yeah, but they leave this guy because again, this guy's, it's not great, but he could be doing worse, you know what I mean? And he's also actively like giving life back to some people too. He kind of has his own code. You sort of get the sense where it's like, you're not the most evil and you're going to suffer enough having to watch this person you care about end their life and having to help them do that.
Totally.
So they kind of like leave it. And it's sort of a rare thing for Supernatural to be like, and I hope that's fine.
You should stop doing that now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Patrick begins to weep and watches her die. Back at the motel, Bobby expresses disbelief that Sam won, but Sam says that he just got lucky. He heads out to nowhere, but in response to the look that Dean gives him, admits that he's going to go get a booster shot.
Yeah, STDs.
Dean apologizes to Bobby for calling him an idiot and admits that he'd never stopped complaining if he were in Bobby's situation. God, he must suck to have no legs. God, I'd never stop complaining. You're right to want to die.
I'd want to die. I was just going to say that. Yeah, I mean, it's...
You know what? Don't say to your friends who are like, man, I feel like killing myself. You'll go, look, I get it. I would too.
Yeah, jump. You should.
Yeah. I dare you. You won't do it.
You coward. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, Bobby is the one that gave us the like family don't end with blood, blah, 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 blah. And Dean is half echoing that back. He's like, your family. But Dean is still doing the, I was raised by John Winchester. I can't feel.
Yeah.
And he's sort of, but he's like, we care about you. He's saying it in his own way, but he's like, we care about you. We want to help you out. We haven't necessarily been, there for you the way we should be, but if you need something, you can get it from us. And Bobby is like, I don't want to sprout panties. Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, Bobby, come on.
Really?
I gotta say, I don't have a problem with Bobby as a character not wanting to talk about it. I do have a problem with Bobby as a character being Dirtbag Dean.
Yeah.
I think it bugs me. Like, it bugs me when Dean does it too, obviously. But I'm like, well, we're still like, we got to work.
He's young and an idiot.
But also, like, we got to work through this because that was like season 1 Dean is still real present, sometimes. Yeah. But with Bobby, I'm like, yeah, I get it. He's older. He probably would say shit like that. Like, it's probably not out of character, but it bothers me more because he's supposed to be the wiser one.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
He works with people, with Ellen. He works with these strong women, and that. Like, do you think Ellen would put up with, like, if she heard Bobby say, like, I'm going to grow panties, she'd slap him in the head.
Yeah.
You think Bobby would he would have had that re-education by now, I think is where I'm going.
Totally.
with this.
I
Not
totally
that,
agree.
that wouldn't be an instinct at some point for Bobby, but you think he'd be past it by now. That
100%.
bothered me more than I expected it to.
Totally. Dean says that Bobby hasn't ceased to be a soldier just because he's been injured on the battlefield.
Yeah, now you're a tank.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Hell yeah. And this is when they put on like turrets on his wheelchair now.
Yeah. You know how to use one of these. Just a giant fucking cannon on the
Hell yeah. Bobby is family, yeah, and he and Sam don't have much of that left. He basically tells Bobby that his presence is required in order for him to carry on, and makes him a promise not to talk about checking himself out ever again. As Bobby and Dean are leaving the motel, that's it. That was the end of the episode.
That's it.
Holy shit!
We did it.
Well,
so there's only one thing left.
No. Our reviews. That's what's left. Go to your review. Go to your review. No. Go to your review. No one can see what you're doing, so just stop.
I think that's why I like this joke even more.
He just keeps pulling his dick out. I don't like it.
And pointing the microphone at it.
Doesn't make a noise. Stop doing it.
Not yet.
Yours doesn't, maybe. Oh, no. Why was that the noise? That'll haunt me for the rest of my life. What's your fucking review?
Sorry. I don't know why that's the noise I make. My review's pretty good. No, I like this episode a lot. Like I said, I love that Patrick is a more nuanced character than we usually get for one of these adversaries. I think it's been a while since we've had a character with this many kind of flips and switches and stuff like that. It's kind of a shame, spoilers, that we never see him again, because I think there's some interesting stuff in there. I enjoy that. I like the general concept of the, like, it's such a good hook, playing poker, and each chip is a year and you're betting for years. You either win them or you lose them. You know, we're preying on people's deep fear of death, obviously, and just the what would you do? And I like that we're aligning the desperation of gambling with the desperation of living. And I think there's some really interesting like symbolism and shit like that in that episode. The episode, you know, has a couple of those moments where it's like, okay, yeah, that's like season one kind of jokes.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to feelings and you know, Bobby and Dean. I love the guy that plays old Dean. I think he's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
I think he really dials it
Incredible.
in. I think he's excellent. There's some good visual effects stuff, but truly the episode's not that heavy on it, which I think is also smart. We only really see a couple of aging or de-aging things. When Bobby de-ages, it's like there's flames in front of his face. You don't see it happen. And when the flames die down, he's young again. Like, it's all very cannily done. They don't like blow the budget on it. And ultimately, very kind of human story. And the idea of the, you know, what's her name? Leah. It was like, I thought I was cut out for this. I can't live forever. So it's not just, we have this interesting guy who keeps living forever and he'll sometimes dole out years to people or sometimes take years from people. We have this companion of his who's been on this journey for, you know, let's say at least 100 years. And she's just like, I can't, it's not for me. So we have all these people who are like so desperate. They're going to throw everything at this game to try and get some years back. And the ultimate lesson is like, you'd be better off just living the ones you have, because let's say you do win, it's probably, you know, it's the grass is greener thing, right? And I like that. I think it's very well done. I think Sam's good in this. Mm-hmm. But it's ultimately kind of a forgettable episode, I think.
Oh, interesting.
Like I like everything about it. I just don't think I think about it very much. So I think I'll probably give this 4.25 strong hands.
Fair. I think this is one that I always forget about, and then when I see it, go, oh yeah, this is just a solid episode. Like it does what it's trying to do. It like Had some like really solid performers. Like the day players in this are incredible. Love the witch. Even his like partner does a really good job, who doesn't really get that much, but she does a really good job, sort of like displaying like and emoting all of this sort of like the sadness and tragedy and stuff. Obviously, the guy that plays Old Dean is fucking knocks it out of the park. Jesus,
So good.
Weak Bobby episode, only just because of like the way he was written.
It's. I think they're on the right. They have the right idea for Bobby about like that. This kind of fucks him up psychologically, but I don't know that it manifests the way that I think it makes sense for Bobby.
No, you're right. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Sam is in it a little bit and does a good job. I think.
Yep.
God, I just kept thinking about how great filming this would have been for Jensen, because he's just like so not in it.
Yeah,
he must have gotten a bunch.
This would
of
have
time
been
off.
a good one for him to like direct or something. You know?
Yeah, he got a ton of time off. But I agree. Like, I think it's solid. It's a nice little like very contained episode. They don't throw a bunch of other shit in it. There's no like through line stuff in there. There's no like big overarching story. They don't add any extra pieces to it. It's like, hey, this is one linear storyline. We're just gonna get it done. And I think like I love getting those in here, because it's not everything needs to be this weird like giant metatextual sort of thing. Like sometimes it can just be like, hey, this is a monster of the week with a character with a type of monster we haven't really seen before, which is cool, like a new concept. Which I'm here for. I'm super happy with that. I'm gonna give it 4.5 DNA scrapes out of her hair.
Wow. Look at that back, huh?
Look, when you're right, you're right. You did it,
dirtbag Reed.
Well, before we go, we've got a note from a fellow hunter.
Nice.
Of course, we've been talking about her all episode. Why not get an email from Dr. Christine?
Fuck yeah. By the way, Dr. Christine, by the time you're listening to this, I'm sorry for asking about cum.
Are you?
I'm sorry, doctor. Doctor, sorry. Doctor, sorry. Doctor, sorry.
So the subject of this message is Reed, Richard, and Dave the accountant. They go on to say, interesting thoughts about the concept of demon blood. Oh yeah, we haven't fucking left demon blood, baby.
Hey, we were talking about plasma in the lore section today. Keep it coming.
Literally. While I agree that the demon or angel inhabiting a human body does technically have human blood and not demon blood, I think it's reasonable to assume that there is some kind of metaphysical and maybe even metaphysiological, if not biological, change that occurs to the human vessel while it's inhabited. After all, a demon or angel can be walking around in what would otherwise be a dead meat suit, though no decay is taking place. I do agree about Sam never needing the blood in the first place, as evidenced by none other than the psychic kids ingesting it. Very clever use of the placebo effect by Ruby to manipulate Sam into needing her and driving a wedge between him and Dean. Still loving every single moment of the show, and am thrilled to the point of squealing every time you guys read one of my emails. Keep up the everything you're doing. At least Reed and Richard. Sorry, Dave, I don't know you that well. Hashtag lore horse. Hashtag sandwich slut.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh yeah!
Thanks
yeah,
for
where are my sandwich sluts?
Oh, I am not making that into a shirt.
I don't feel good about that.
Thanks for keeping me company and making it feel like I'm hanging out with friends whenever I listen. Dr. Christine.
Wow.
Holy shit. I love this so much.
I sometimes think about sometimes we record, and then I come home and my wife goes, "How was recording?" And I just go, "It was good." And I sometimes think about what would happen if I elaborated. I was like, "Oh, it was good. Listen, my whores, my sluts, they're great." What did we do today? We talked about January 6th, scraping cum out of someone's hair, and I got a bunch of sandwich sluts lined up for writing emails.
Yeah,
that's a truly aggressive moniker to take, and I love it. Thank you.
I mean, look, if anything, this podcast is about aggressive sexuality. So, anyways, that is it. If you want to continue the conversation about everything we just talked about, you could do so through our Discord.
Angel Radio. If you go to patreon.com/ghostfacers for only $1 a month, you get access to Angel Radio, our Discord server. It's a ton of fun. We talk about our own paranormal encounters. Someone posted a video of, you could hear, it's basically like a Wendigo or like a skinwalker or something, like going like, "Hey," like in a field, and a horse freaking out and running away. And I was like, that's too scary for me. And, just general Dean and Sam Thirst and fun stuff happening over there. And it helps to support us.
Yes. And if you want to continue that support, or maybe you want to send, much like Dr. Christine did, send a message about a past or future episode that's coming.
Yeah.
You can send it to our email at ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com.
Right.
Or chat with us on just the social media platforms that we are present on.
Yeah, we're at Ghostfacers Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform that you get it on, so that it automatically gets in your feed every week and helps our statistics and all that kind of stuff. And while you're on there, why don't you give us a 5-star review, and we will read it on a future episode of the podcast.
That's right.
If it's not on Apple Podcasts or on something like Facebook, just make sure to take a screenshot and send it to us on something so that we can get it. Also, if you want to get, I'm not making a sandwich slut shirt, but if you want to get a lore horse shirt.
Come on.
You want to get a lore horse shirt.
Only make crop tops.
Jesus Christ. I already made a sandwich segments shirt for everyone.
You did?
I did. I put it on the website. I took the graphic and put it on stuff.
Yeah, so if one of you makes a sandwich slut graphic, Richard will put it up on the website.
I'm not making it, but if someone made it, I'm not going to not put it up there. I'm not going to not make money.
Oh man, it's such an aggressive set of words.
Yep. And
like unfortunately open to interpretation, I would say.
There's lots of different types of sandwiches you can make on the human body.
Yeah.
So you can buy that on our no, don't. I'm finishing something. No, put your dick away.
Wow.
Not like we both did that at the same time. Yeah, you can buy our merch at ghostfacerspodcaststore.com.
Right.
Also, we have got whole other podcast that you might like.
Yeah, Dr. DC Podcast. We talk about DC Comics. We answer listener questions. You don't need to know anything about comic books for it. It's just a fun way to geek out and do, comedy bullshit the way that we do here. So if you like the way we talk about Supernatural over here, you might like the way we talk about comic books over there.
That's right. All right, that is it for this week. Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.